banana slam jam.
Your laning mechanics and game decisions are just to be like I don't know how bad your attitude is. Like they're above this. I think it's pretty noticeable to me. Like I have seen some, with all the love and respect in the world to my prior coachees, I have seen some real brain dead 4K players. Okay, like in the sense that man, they know their mechanics, but I feel like I have to teach them how to think about the game at all. Like not in the sense that they think wrongly, they just don't think at all. So I can tell just by watching that you think a lot. So maybe you think too much. Maybe you're kind of like me, where you think too much. Is that potentially a problem, or is that?
That was a lot that led to me, like, the attitude problem, actually.
Okay.
Like, I'll pay too much attention to what the team is doing, and I would, like, as far as, like, I think they should be doing this, I think they should be doing that, and I just got better at ignoring
Yeah, you
that.
sound a lot like me, actually. That's kind of funny. I can relate to these on a whole nother level, and what I've realized. Okay, so I know I was memeing the day before I left for Summit. I don't know if you saw that stream where I was just like, you cannot control the things that you can't control. Did you see that stream?
No, I don't think I did.
That was a solid meme stream, okay? I would actually highly recommend it to you if you like, you don't have to watch it. It's not homework. It's a funny fucking stream because it was October 30th. So what happened is that I've found myself to be a player that the first game of the day, or maybe first two games, largely determines how my day is going to go. Because if I have like two good games, I'm like in a really good mood and I'll play well. And if I have two really bad games, I'll be in a really bad mood and I'll play really poorly. So a lot of times my win rate will be like 6-2 or 2-6, and it's dependent upon whether or not I won the first two games. It's like,
Okay.
or even just like the quality of games that I had in the first two games. And so the funny thing about that day specifically was I had two horrible games to start the stream. The first game I played a bit poorly, and I've been talking to some people. Basically, I've talked to some players, and it's been helping me a lot with my mentality. And I haven't really had the chance to really show it or work on it in pubs because it was really recent, and I went to the summit and everything. So I hope to be able to prove to people and myself in the near future when I get back to the East Coast. But the point was I had two horrible games. The first game, my team was making so many dumb mistakes between like the 10 to 20 minute mark. But the reason why my game was hard was because I fucked up the laning stage. And so because I fucked up the laning stage, the mistakes they were making made my game really hard. Okay? Like if I had done well in the lane, their fuck ups would have been annoying, but it wouldn't have hurt me. It wouldn't have like directly impacted me because I would have been able to do my job individually. I was a bat writer. So what happened was, in that game, instead of focusing on all the stupid things my teammates were doing, I'm like, damn, my game's hard because of my lane. What can I do to make it better? And I ended up losing the game. And I go to the next game, and a lot of people will remember this game. The next game was my Mars game, and I had a solid lane. I was in the fucking zone, dude. I was in the fucking zone. I was against a really hard lane, like CK Warlock or some shit, and I was owning. I was like 7-1-3. And I had Mason on carry, and he was playing Lifestealer, and he was tilted by the sheer fact that the opponent had a Techies. Nothing happened. He was purely tilted by the fact the opponent existed with the Techies. He went Midas with no boots into Phase Boots Heart of Tarrasque as a I hate Techies and went 0-7-4 on Lifestealer. And all game I knew my only way to play the game was to try to kill the CK. I had to like shut down the CK because I saw what my Lifestealer was doing. I'm like, I literally thought to myself, this Lifestealer is going to do absolutely nothing, but if he gets like 4 items, he might actually carry me. So I just have to delay this CK. And so it's crazy to me because in a game like that, I would be so focused on how stupid Mason was playing that game. Because previously, like 4 or 5 days prior, Mason had actually ruined my game. He actually ruined my game. And all I did was flame Mason that game. And after that game, I was so tilted. The game where I flamed Mason. I was so fucking tilted. Okay? And the funny thing about it is, when players like that ruin your game, do you think he's tilted?
Oh, yeah.
He's probably tilted in that specific game, but going on to the next game, who's likely to be more tilted, me or him? Based on the way I reacted.
Well, it depends.
I would argue it's me.
Probably, yeah.
I would argue it's the guy that got tilted by somebody else who's tilted. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you let somebody else's tilt you, I would argue you're the one that gets more tilted by the tilt than he does.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Like, you don't have to.
Mhm.
You don't have to agree. Like, if you disagree, it's
Oh
fine.
no, yeah, no. I have actually I have a friend that I play with. I used to be on a team with him. He was my pos 5. When we're in pubs, he has a little bit of an issue getting mad at teammates, and I have to try and make sure that he doesn't use his mic.
Yeah, I'll tell you
And
right now. You should
he'll,
stop playing
like
with
if
him.
this is
You
from
should.
like
You should stop playing with him.
no, he's gotten better. He's
Okay.
gotten a lot better. But we've
What I was gonna say was you should stop playing with him or bring to his attention that he has to change it and give him the chance to change it. That's like the two choices. So if you think he's made improvements, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
So I will say that like allowing people to tilt around you and listening to them tilt will make you naturally tilt way more. So this is actually an interesting thing for me. I may even make an individual video about this discussion you and I have had because this is so new to me. This concept is so new to me. But what happened in that stream was I was like 7-1-4 on Mars, and the game was literally fucking impossible. Like the game was impossible because my lifestealer is just 0-5 farming ancients or some shit. Okay, and I knew my only way to win the game was to keep trying to pressure the CK, and eventually the lifestealer showed up to a fight with a Reaver and phase boots at like 20 minutes into the game, and we tried to kill the CK, and he wiped us. And I was like, damn, I guess we just didn't have the damage. I felt like our lineup would have had the damage. And I was just laughing to myself because it's like, it's obvious why we don't have the damage. It's like, it's pretty fucking obvious, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
I didn't flame him at all. I'm like, I feel like we should have had the damage. I clicked on his inventory, but that was it. And I was in such a good mood, even though that game was fucking dog shit, because all I focused on was what I had to do in the game. That was all I focused on. And that game was horrible. And I assure you, if I had employed my own mentality, from literally my entire Dota history to those two games, I would be tilted out of my mind. Okay, like I would have been gone for the day. Guess what happened? I lost that game. The next 5 games, my teammates were completely normal. I won all 5 of them. Won all 5. I played some of the best Dota I'd ever played. I'm not even like, it's not meant to be bragging. It's like, that for me was one of the most monumental shifts in like, holy shit, it actually works. I can't believe that just not being tilted is that important. And I think the sole source of not tilting is ignoring what your team is doing in terms of like whether or not it's right or wrong, but simply adjusting to what's happening in the game. Because thinking about what your teammates should be doing, thinking about what they like are doing wrong, it's just going to tilt you. It's going to distract you. It's going to make you play poorly as well. But if you just objectively watch what they are doing and see how it impacts you, that's like the dream. It actually makes the game of Dota 10 times more enjoyable. It makes the game you play way better. And it actually makes me personally be able to appreciate the game. Because you realize how beautiful the game is if you just ignore the human factor.
Honestly, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I feel like
But
you're
I
someone
think
that's a lot like me, and that's why I'm talking to you about myself a lot. Not because I'm like trying to make this session about me. But I feel like I overthink. I feel like you, like based on what I'm watching, you know so much about this game. I can actually tell. I can really tell this. And there's a few mistakes that I talked to you about and I think could be better. It astounds me when I see players that are the same MMR as me. I'm gonna be straight with you because I see it here too. There's players that are the same MMR as me, personally, that I know, in terms of Dota knowledge, are terrible in comparison. I know my Dota knowledge is way higher than them. And when I see you play this, I can't believe you're in 3K. I can't believe you're low 4K. Like, your Dota knowledge is vastly higher than this. I can tell. I can tell in your games. The way you're executing against your opponents, like, you're only really making 1 or 2 major conceptual mistakes every game. And your mechanics are pretty good. You know, we talked about the A stop A thing, but other than that, I haven't seen any glaring mechanical issues. And yet you're here. It's like, then there has to be something. It's not your teammates, right? There's something that's keeping you in this bracket. I would put your conceptual knowledge somewhere around 5.5 to 6K. That's where I would put you. And I don't think your mechanics are... I would say your conceptual knowledge is the best part of your game, from what I'm seeing. Like your farming patterns overall very good, and where you put yourself on the map and your itemization, even if it's wrong, like the Silver Edge, I understood why. So all I had to do was slightly tweak your thought process rather than give you a thought process. Big difference there, guys. Big difference. I think someone like you, because you're a lot like me, I hope at least from what I'm seeing, you need reassurance. In that I feel like sometimes I'm very prone to doubting myself. And I'm very prone to seeing what's going on in the game and saying, this is not what's supposed to be happening. This is like I know what should be happening and that's not what happens. And because it's not what's should be happening, I don't really know what to do because I know how to play the game ideally, but I'm so focused on making sure the game's ideal that when the game goes to shit, usually based on your teammates, that you make it worse. Would you say you're the type of guy that when your teammates throw, you're 10 times more likely to also throw? Are you that type of player?
Yeah. Probably. As of recent, it's gotten better, but
Yeah. That's like your standard, right? I would put myself in that category as well. And the fact is, it doesn't make us not accountable. Like it makes us we are accountable to be somebody who makes the game worse when our teammates mess up. That is something that is a bad trait and it is a part of the loss. Okay? So, I really hope for you or anyone that's watching this that you guys take this I'm trying to be very genuine here. I'm trying to be open about shortcomings I have had. I see them a lot in you as well. And there are times and there are players, and if you're out there, guys, where you feel like my knowledge, like you're talking about yourself here, your own knowledge is higher than the bracket you're in, and there's no glaring mechanical issues, it is almost certainly this that is the cause of your losses.